Games on Roblox have been dated back all the way to 2006, with the first ever Roblox game being called Rocket Arena, a free-for-all fighting arena game that has unfortunately been shut down since 2017. However, there are quite a few games that have survived up until today. And in today's video, we'll be taking a look at two very old first-person shooters / fighting games. The first game we will be trying out is called Base Wars FPS, which could be noted as the oldest FPS game on Roblox. Released all the way back in April of 2007, this was the first game on Roblox to feature first-person shooter gameplay with different classes and base capturing elements. The game amassed a total of nearly 800,000 players, and its most recent update or final update was 7 years after its release in 2014. The game was released by somebody who goes by the name Games. I don't know why that's the name, but that's all I could possibly find. Base Wars wasn't the only game released under this name, however. They did go on to create two more games, Roblox Battle and Roblox University. Roblox Battle was released all the way back in November of 2012, and Roblox University was released a couple years later in 2014. While Base Wars and Roblox Battle are still up and available to play, I'm not quite sure Roblox University is unable to be played, stating that the experience is under review. Funny enough, most of the super early Roblox games are copyable, meaning you can take the original code in the game itself and add whatever you like and re-release it as something else. Before we get started with the game, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. The game features quite a couple classes to choose from. There's Trooper, which is a more all-around class, Assault, which is a little faster than the others, Brute, which is a more tanky class, Medic is what you would expect, and finally Sniper. I'm sure you can piece that one together. Starting out, it turns out I can't actually start the game by myself. We end up being stuck in this random skybox, completely unable to do anything. So I got two of my friends to help me out, whose channels I was leaving in the description below so you can check them out as well. Loading into the server together, it turns out that the game literally won't start. No matter how long we waited, how many things we tried to press and do, it just wouldn't let us into the game.
Bro.
That is so annoying. I thought it would work. After doing some research, I found out due to the massive amount of updates after 18 years of it being released, and a new update called Filtering Enabled, it essentially broke the game and many other old games after so many changes were made to the Roblox engine and Roblox as a whole. It would also make sense because the last update to this game was made all the way back in 2014. So I managed to find some footage by the official creator that I will show as I talk more about this game. I also figured out that the name of the person who released the game is just Roblox itself. Since all games need an account / user to release the game under, Roblox just decided to make one named Games and rolled with it. The original game features some different maps, rotating with each round. The weapons I'm going to assume are the basics of assault rifles, shotguns, rocket launchers, and snipers, as I would assume for each class that I listed before. It's kind of a shame to see this game, like many others, be completely unplayable. It's strange being able to still launch into a game that's over 18 years old, even though it doesn't work. The UI is still technically there, even though you can't access it and none of the menus seem to work either. The only saving grace about this is the fact that the game can indeed be copied and modified, so hypothetically someone could take the original source code and elements and just fix all the things that broke, like the menus, weapons, and the full game itself. Being able to play and even launch the game felt a bit weird. Even though I couldn't technically play it, it felt like I was being transported all the way back to the early days of Roblox, with its original movement sounds and the UI look. It kinda saddened me to realize that it couldn't work because 1, I really wanted to play it, and 2, knowing that this game used to be full of people fighting each other on their old Dell workstations running a Pentium CPU, blasting MP3 rips from their MP3 flash player, popular songs of that time. It truly was a simpler time, but unfortunately with the updates to the game's security and overall safety to the user, over time the game did have to change because back then it was very easy to exploit the game and create experiences that were not made for younger audiences. Nowadays Roblox has these age restrictions that are added to both guide the user and the creator of the experience to put in what they want without being fully restricted with some obvious guidelines. Overall, it was kind of unfortunate that I couldn't play the game myself, but the fact that there is still footage from so many years ago showcasing the game and knowing that there used to be so many players in it every day makes me feel a little bit better about it. But we still have one more game to check out, and it's one that works. Kinda. I did notice that there was another game released under the same creator called Roblox Battle. This one was released all the way back in 2012, nearly 5 years after Base Wars PvP. While this one isn't necessarily one of the oldest games on Roblox, because by that time there had already been many other games released like Theme Park Tycoon, Blocks Hunt, and more classics that still remain standing to this day. So while this one isn't necessarily one of the oldest games, it's still 12 years old and made by Roblox themselves, which I'll count as being a classic game that still fits in the genre of this video. The game amassed a whopping 10.6 million plays over the course of its life, over 10 times the amount of the previous game that we played. This game, however, did not get updated as frequently or was taken care of as long as Base Wars. While Base Wars' final update was 7 years after release, Roblox Battle was only updated for around 3 years after release, with its final update being just at the halfway point of 2015. Kind of strange how a game that had more players than its previous one not be kept up to date longer than its predecessor. Loading into the game, we're put into a lobby full of stuff that's basically inaccessible. There's a bank that you can click on but does nothing. 2 menu buttons that also do nothing. The only thing that you can really do in the lobby is place your flag to put down a vote on the voting system, and that didn't even work. We would place our flags on a map and it would just go ahead and choose a different one for us. The voting system went through like 3 times, and when we originally thought it was broken and wouldn't let us into the game finally let us in the 2 doors that we were questioning earlier. Loading into the map that we didn't choose, we have an array of weapons to choose and fight with. There's a sword, bowling ball, slingshot, bomb, rocket launcher, and an EMP. Trying out the rocket launcher first, we find out that it doesn't work. So we tried out a different weapon, and that didn't work either. After trying out all of the possible weapons that we had available, the only one that we could end up using was the sword, since its coding and mechanics didn't seem to change with the constant updates unlike all the other ones in the game. After finishing up that match, we noticed that the game just wouldn't change maps once the round ended. Getting into the match worked, the timer worked, and the end condition worked, but I guess the coding for map switches and round switches is just broken as well. But I was curious of how the game and other maps would look back in the day. So I found some footage from BereghostGames when they played this game nearly 10 years ago and was able to see how the actual game is meant to play and how most of the other maps worked. It turns out that the bank that I had noted before was for storing coins, which you earned in the game, and could be used for customizing your character, since your character starts at a blank slate when you first start the game. The game's map selection is very wide. While I wasn't able to get a full count of the amount of maps, just from the voting system alone, you can see just how many there are. The UI looks incredibly different from what it is now. With a more sleek and actual detailed look, it kind of sucks seeing how different it is in comparison to today's UI. The weapon seems to operate a lot better back then, with it actually doing damage and working the way it should be. Turns out there actually is a kill feed, which I didn't see at all during our gameplay, and at the end of the match there used to be a leaderboard featuring total kills, deaths, and your favorite weapon. For the time, the graphics actually look pretty decent, and it seems like some, if not a lot of the elements of some maps are destructible, which was pretty cool to see for the time. The game also seems to feature an exhaustion system, where if you try to jump too many times in a short period, the game would punish you and force you to stop jumping for a short period of time. Overall, it was truly a blast being able to explore and do a deep dive into these classic Roblox games. Even though I wasn't able to play them fully, it felt like it was a pretty good idea to explore and look at these games so many years later. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to BereghostGames and my 2 friends that joined me today. This video would literally not be possible without them, and I wouldn't be able to showcase and look into Roblox Battle without Bereghost's video. If you want to take a full look at their video they made about Roblox Battle and their other Roblox videos, I will leave a link in the description below to their channel and the original video I got it from. I'll also leave links in the description to both of my friends who joined me so you can check them out as well. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a couple of classic Roblox games, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to take a look at some more of the oldest Roblox games because there are quite a few, and I think it would be very cool to see how they look or see if they even work so many years later. If you want to see more videos from me whenever they come out, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Another huge shout out to both of my friends in BereghostGames because this video wouldn't have been possible without them. As always, I've been Miko, and I will catch you in the next video.